I can get better than that.
Okay, that's all I had on that whole.
Probably should have been done.
Everything else looked great.
Okay, so are we still not approving?
You know, so, that was cleared up and I would, John, you didn't get a chance to read it all?
I
or-
just didn't get a chance to look at it.
Okay.
And there's some CDBG stuff in here, so John probably wants to look over that.
Let's continue that, the minutes until next month then, we can. I'll entertain a motion to do so.
Motion to continue the minutes of November 6th to the next meeting.
Have a motion to continue the minutes. Have a second?
Yes, sorry.
Is there a second? All in
There is a
favor?
second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All any opposed?
Motion almost failed.
We had a tie there, we had a tie there, so I wasn't sure who was first. Okay, we're on to number 12, recorder's office warrant approvals, announcements, and open and public meeting training. Would you like to do yours first and then me, or vice?
Yeah, I'll do
Okay.
warrants. So you all have those in front of you there. Reimburse phone, the postage of $6.59 was the certified letter that we sent to Mr. Fabrizio, and I never received the return receipt,
Uh-oh.
which to me says he refused to sign it or was never available for them to.
They don't
get him
report
to
that back?
sign.
They don't report that back to you? Just no receipt.
Just didn't.
Nice.
So I'm assuming he didn't get the letter, and if you want to go forward with the action that the letter stated you were gonna do. So, that's another topic. I
Yeah.
bought toner when I was in Park City, and then charged the multiple pack, the color online, which is on the charge card. Polaris quarterly support for $500. The Mountain Land Association of Governments annual fee, $863.
So is that up or down?
It's up slightly.
Slightly.
I don't have in mind the past amount, but it's based on population, as you know.
They had a big discussion about it, and some of the towns were balking at it. What do we get for that? And I didn't know if they followed through. There was,
Oh, whether they raised it or not?
yeah.
Okay. The workers' comp policy has gone up a great deal because of the salary increases. This is for the next year.
And what was it,
How they do that.
what was the average last year?
The last year was 600 and something.
So
So
what's-
it's more than doubled, but like I say, it was because of salary increases and not only elected officials and the clerk, but the water personnel, are putting in a lot more hours.
All the
Right, and so I think it was last month Eric mentioned you can get a discount if certain trainings take place. It might be something you want to look at. It's really hard to do that, I can see, as a town where we don't even have departments and, working. I mean, I don't know how you get your people together to do that type of a training, but it could be reduced if.
And that's the annual amount?
Yes, it's annual.
So do you happen to know our rate?
I can get you the document.
Okay, we should have a rate of what our rate is.
Okay,
I'd be interested to see if that went up or down
Okay.
based on what you do, they rate that rating. And so that's actually what you lower your price.
And they sent a letter several months ago saying they were hiring a firm, Lowry and Associates, I think, to audit, to make sure that the clerk or whoever puts down the categories of people that are being paid is correct. And so we get the statement that says how much it is, and I got the letter of the audit today. So it seems like they got the cart before the horse. But
Hard to do tomorrow.
I will have to go through that and make sure that it is in conformance with the way that we were charged. That's the first time that type of an audit has been done since I've been in office. Smith Hart Fixon down considerably to 278. There are the GDA invoices. And I did receive a packet of 4 or 5 today that weren't completed by last week. They only totaled $450. That Amelia realized because they came in late, they won't be on until next month's warrants for inspections in the homes that are already ongoing. So I assume they'll just be added to,
For some
The
reason, not
December.
everything got out Friday like it's supposed to.
yeah.
So that's fine, just put it on next month's agenda.
Did you find out anything on Matthews? The Matthews $75 that we paid last month that you said Matthews actually should have paid himself is still outstanding.
He hasn't written that check to the town yet.
Not seen anything.
Sorry. We did have communication and I understood that was forthcoming to the town,
Okay,
so I will follow back
so
up on
I'm
that one.
telling you, you didn't.
Oh, so he's just reimbursing the town?
Yeah, at this point, he's reimbursing the town, and we had some mix-ups, but it ended up on the order of like $25 or $30, so I was gonna not worry about it. It's in the
Oh.
town's favor.
Okay,
If I recall, we had a check got written for, I got lost, but the numbers were small enough, I thought I was good.
okay, then we get down to the Public Works, again, the GDA invoice. Eric's hours on Blue Stakes. And the payroll for a total of $12,325. I've got a notation at the bottom of this because it was mentioned in the last meeting that hopefully Ryan would get some costs from the county on road signs. And that if he did, and had a phone call with Eric and Chip, you could decide if the amount was reasonable, but I haven't seen anything. So I assume you
Right.
don't know anything.
Brandon and I have called each other a lot. but
Okay.
So far, I don't have we haven't had a conversation that resulted in a number I can present to you guys.
So that may happen this month in December, and then I'm sure we'll get an invoice if you accept.
Okay, so based on that, what will the price include, the signs?
Well, it's purchasing the signs and then installing them.
That will be a package price,
Yeah.
even though the hours are stated in our contract that we signed last month?
Well, so I was trying to get him to estimate the hours to install the sign. You know, is it gonna be, is this a 5-hour job or a 500-hour job? So that I could report to you what it would be. The signs were, you know, a fixed cost.
Right.
So the sign part was easy, it's the hours that he was trying to figure out.
Oh,
With the good weather, everybody said, okay, let's get one more project in, let's get one more project in. So despite having more time, we're still busier now than ever. I'm thinking with the 12-degree temperature tonight, that ought to change things. So tomorrow might be a good time to come.
okay, so you're coming back with both?
I'm trying to come back with both. My intent was to come back with both.
I was unclear on that, I didn't know if we were getting the sign price, because the hourly,
I did,
it is what it is, because we signed the agreement, but,
I was attempting to come back with both so we'd have a comprehensive
thank you.
cost of this is what it's gonna take.
Thank you.
If it drags on much longer, I'm gonna revise that.
And the good news under Public Works is we had no snow removal this month, good news or bad news. But the truck was in my cul-de-sac this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning and the road was perfectly bare.
I saw the sand dumped
You
in all
gotta
the
be
places
kidding.
with no snow.
These guys don't have anything to do. Manual Municipal, the CenturyLink, Hebron Power, postage for both water companies, and GDA invoice. We've luckily just had the one water test for both companies on that, E. coli and Wolfram's this month. Payroll there, they're again short hours, which is good. Storm Haven, the gas at the pump house, heater, light, GDA's invoice, water testing.
Motion to approve the warrants.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Warrants approved. Thank you, Lynn. Before I go into public training, any announcements?
I believe so. I was going to say Kim got her water certification, but you already Congratulations.
It's already online, that's where I saw it.
I've got one page to read each year. The council we have to have some kind of training, and it comes out of our Utah League and Cities and Towns. But tonight I would go over resources for conducting a public awareness campaign in your community. Where it's only a page, if you guys can put up with my voice, I'll read the whole thing, and that's kind of about a 1 page and 1 paragraph training. Love any comment, and if not, I'm done with our training. Or if you're too bored with my voice, you can certainly ask to take over and read. I'll start here. Resources for conducting a public awareness campaign in your community. How do your residents perceive your community? Do they really know how their local property and sales tax dollars are being spent? Do they know the services that you provide? Do they understand a local government's role in making their lives better? Asking some of these questions can be a good indicator of reality, and it appears from several years of public surveys commissioned by the ULCT that many of your constituents aren't clear about the services provided by their city or town. Our Dan Jones and Associates survey in recent years verifies that while Utahns recognize and appreciate essential municipal services as improving their quality of life, they do not recognize who is providing it for them. When asked, please name the services that you receive from your city or town, few respondents could identify more than just water and garbage services. The ULCT has a plan to help local officials tell their story better. In September 2007, we introduced our Making Life Better campaign to assist our members in their respective efforts to better communicate what services they provide for their residents. If you've been thinking about branding your community or just simply thinking of ways to improve public awareness, we think you will find the following resources to be very useful. Let us know how we can help. Go to the League's website, www.ulct.org, where you can download a copy of the Making Life Better catalog. The catalog provides additional details about the campaign, shows a number of examples of how it can be implemented in communities, and has information about vendors who can help you put a campaign together in your community. And keep in mind, what you see in the catalog is just to prick your interest and give you some ideas of the possibilities. You know what might work best in your community. Campaign logos. Most branding campaigns are centered on a logo or symbol that creates, over time, a recognizable identity. Think Nike, and countless other corporations and organizations that have branded their respective logos on our collective minds. Realize that it would be a challenge to get 244 cities and towns to agree upon the same logo. For this campaign, we have created 3 of them. On the tab page for this section, you'll see 3 logos you may choose for your own branding campaign. These are black and white versions, and you'll see the color version on your website. Be sure to look in the campaign catalog for ideas on how you can modify and use the logos to fit the unique needs of your community. The logos can be edited to include the name of your city or town, and the catalog shows examples of how that can be done. I hope once you start using one of these logos in your community, your residents will remember it and associate it with good service provided by your city or town. So have a look at the online catalog and the logos, decide what appeals to you, and then begin to promote your city's branding campaign. Remember, these logos are not intended to replace your current city logo or seal, but these should be used in conjunction with it to create an even stronger identity for your community. That is the training with regards to resources for conducting a public awareness campaign. Any questions or comments? None?
I don't think we're ready to brand yet.
Ready to brand yet? I don't believe we need to go into 13, so the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
We might have to hit 13.
Okay.
You wanna talk about the Schultz?
I'd like an update.
Okay, let's go into 13. So the chair will entertain a motion to go out of regular session and to go into closed session. That being said, the room would need to be empty. We really appreciate your time and effort this evening, and
Did we get what you came for, sir?
Okay, observe you.
Okay.
How do we?
I don't even live in Daniel, I'm just looking at all of the stuff in Wasatch County.
You want to?
You're about the fourth town that I've looked at now, so to see what's going
how
on.
normal are we compared to the other three?
Well, obviously the big cities have a different way of handling things, but as far as compared to small towns, as a matter of fact, Independence just hired a new clerk in their last meeting.
Huh?
Apparently that's typical problems we have, so. Anyway,
Thanks,
very
guys.
interesting.
Appreciate everything you guys
do.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, Brian.
See you, Ryan.
So I should have off.
You're not involved in that.
Can, I will not be done.
Want to use input on anything?
I think we're just at a path, I think we're okay, right?
Okay.
Because you're not even, involved in that.
Like I said, I'm certainly happy to do what I need to do, but I've learned to not walk out when we close those meetings. As soon as we get called back in.
I think it'll be a good one. I think that'll be okay for tonight.
All right, well, have a good night.
See you, Ryan.
Thanks. Yeah,
Good seeing you, Kim.
Christine, code off.
Thanks, Kim. See you.
So the chair will entertain a motion to go out of regular session and go into a closed session.
So moved.
You have a first
Second.
and a second. All in favor? Aye. We are now in closed.